Right now at 6, La Crosse moves to protect cyclists. The heavy price tag that would come with upgrades.
And an Eau Claire Elementary School facing closure. The community's push to keep doors open.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. Amplify Health is in the process of acquiring a Monroe County ambulance service.
News 8 Now's Allison Ferget joins us in the newsroom with the details. Allison.
The owners of the Sparta Area Ambulance Service are ready to retire and are now in the process of transferring their assets over to Amplify.
We've worked together for many, many years.
After more than 5 decades, the family running the Sparta Area Ambulance Service is hanging up their hats.
We're happy for the Hess family. They're retiring after 52 years of running that ambulance service, and high quality, tremendous job serving the community of Sparta.
Amplify Health is working with the family to take over the service. Officials say it's a perfect fit for their current system.
We have a base in Toma already where we provide inter-facility transport. We have an air base just outside of Sparta at the airport.
Through the deal, Amplify will acquire the service's resources, like its ambulances and equipment. Amplify also plans to retain all Sparta Area Ambulance Service employees who meet their hiring criteria.
They have a really skilled team over there, and we're looking forward to working with them to continue to meet the needs of the community.
The Sparta Area Ambulance Service currently responds to the city of Sparta and 14 other surrounding municipalities. Amplify officials say they know how crucial it is for those rural areas to have reliable ambulance services, and they're ready to provide that.
A person living rural Sparta or rural Prairie du Chien is just as important as a person living in the city of La Crosse. So they need that EMS service as well, and our goal is to provide it to them.
It will still be a few months before the Sparta Area Ambulance Service is officially rebranded as a part of Amplify Health. Reporting in the newsroom, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Allison. A developing story out of West Salem, a car crashing into the side of a bank. A neighbor told a News 8 photographer on scene that car hit a curb before driving through multiple lawns and crashing into the Ultra Federal Credit Union. Police say no one was injured in the crash and no word yet on the cause. La Crosse residents are getting a second chance to weigh in on the proposed city administrator position. The Nature Place is hosting another round of public sessions on the position. Some residents are questioning whether the position would actually save the city money, pointing to the high salary and additional staffing costs.
People have very strong opinions, and so our goal is to make sure that people actually have the facts and they have an opportunity to share how they're feeling about it.
The second meeting of the day just started at 6.
Well, changes could be coming to bike lanes in downtown La Crosse. News 8 Now's Grace Monk is live to explain the city's plan. Grace.
The city of La Crosse is seeking a grant to upgrade bike lanes along 2nd Street. They plan to add a concrete median and stop signs between La Crosse and Market Streets. The improvements will cost around $623,000. A Wisconsin DOT grant could fund about half of that, and the rest would come from the city's capital budget. The goal of the project is to make bike lanes safer and less confusing.
There's a lot of confusion down on that cycle track. Obviously, there are cars parking where the bicyclists are supposed to be. So this was what was proposed as the solution to that.
The Finance and Personnel Committee voted to approve the DOT grant last week, and the Common Council will have final say on that this Thursday. Reporting in La Crosse, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Grace. Well, Oktoberfest weekend was a busy one for the La Crosse Police Department. Officials say officers responded to over 1,000 calls over the weekend and made over 50 arrests. Officials reported 21 fights, including a large fight Saturday night involving around 60 people. And officers issued 147 alcohol-related citations, almost all of them underage alcohol violations. Other notable incidents included 9 damage to properties and 26 car accidents.
The La Crosse Public Library is closed today. Officials say it's due to a car accident involving a staff member. All events scheduled for today, including the Friends Book Sale and the Governor's Archives Awards, are canceled or postponed. The library will reopen tomorrow.
Well, definitely felt more like early October here with the cold front that came through, and some of them, a lot of people actually received a good amount and much needed rainfall earlier this morning. And we still got a little bit of that going on. For the most part, it's pretty dry, just cloudy conditions, steady now in the upper 50s for both locations. There's your observed highs today, much more closer to where we should be. A few areas south and east got into the 70s due to a little bit more sunshine, but overall we're in the upper 50s to around the low 60s for most areas. And if you think that's a big change, yeah, we're looking at potentially 20-degree difference in high temperatures from today from yesterday. So quite a drop, but kind of where we should be. Overall radar indicates a few activity out there. A lot of this towards Ladysmith is not reaching the ground. Other areas you might see a few sprinkles, but for the most part as we zoom in, radar's just showing a very light activity basically south of I-90, even La Crosse. Those are your 6-hour rain amounts, so not a lot of precipitation with this, but we could still see a few sprinkles, a few showers this evening. But for the most part, it's dry, and the bigger picture going forward is, yeah, we're going back and continuing with October, but we got some other stories to talk about, and that means frost or freezing, which means the growing season is going to be coming to an end for a lot of areas this week.
All right, thank you, Greg. An elementary school could soon close its doors, and some families say they're not going down without a fight.
News 8 Now's JDS McGee is live in Eau Claire with details. JDS.
I'm here in Eau Claire, where if you take a look behind me, you can see families are rallying to keep Roosevelt Elementary open. Parents and students are lining up outside of the school board's office with homemade signs, all urging the Eau Claire School Board to keep Roosevelt Elementary and 2 other elementary schools open. The rally, organized by Roosevelt PTA, is a plea to the school board, with families saying the school's closure would be a major loss.
Our biggest concern if the schools close is that these kids will be bused to larger 3-section schools. They'll start over. We're worried about the staff. We're worried about what will happen to these schools. We're worried about our property taxes. We're worried about our neighborhoods that these schools surround. So there's a lot of worry should these schools close, any one of these numbers of these schools.
Supporters say Roosevelt serves more than just kids inside. It anchors after-school programs, brings neighbors together, and helps families feel connected. Many hope that by showing up, that the school district, they can send a message before the school district makes a final decision. Reporting in Eau Claire, JDS McGee, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, JDS. A recall to tell dog owners about. Best Buy Bones is recalling some of its Nature's Own Pet Chews Bully Bites. The treats were distributed from Minnesota and sold in Wisconsin. Officials say they may be contaminated with salmonella. So far, no one has reported getting sick, but anyone who bought the treats should throw them away or return them.
It is Fire Prevention Week, and the La Crosse Fire Department is visiting local schools to teach fire safety lessons. Today at First Lutheran Elementary, officials highlighted the importance of safely using, charging, and disposing of devices that are powered by lithium-ion batteries. Students could also enter a raffle for a bike by submitting their family escape plan.
Ever seen a firefighter in their full gear with their air tank and their mask on? It sounds like Darth Vader's coming at you. It can be a little intimidating, so we make it fun and approachable so that these students know that we're safe adults they can trust.
McCormick says they'll visit every elementary and preschool in the city this week. To learn more about Fire Prevention Week, you can visit thecityoflacrosse.org/fire.
The Hunger Task Force is calling on help from the community. Their 3rd annual virtual food drive kicked off today, running through the end of the month. As food insecurity sweeps the region, donations are becoming more critical for families who can no longer afford rising grocery prices.
So Virtual Food Drive means that you can go right on our Facebook page, you can go right on our website, and you can click to purchase food on our behalf. So we have canned vegetables, we've got peanut butter, and you can just make a cash donation.
Some more food items that are requested are canned meats, pastas, beans, and fresh produce.
Still ahead tonight, a federal judge blocks President Trump's plans to send the National Guard to Portland. How other major cities are pushing for the same.
And NASA urging Congress to protect its funding. What cuts would mean for the future of space exploration.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, a weekend of adventure on and off the screen. The La Crosse Adventure Film Festival kicks off tomorrow. See what's playing and how you can be a part of it.
A federal judge is blocking the Trump administration from sending National Guard troops to Portland to protect an ICE facility. The ruling comes as Chicago files a similar lawsuit to prevent 300 Guard members from deploying to the city. Democratic governors say the president's claims about threats in major cities are unwarranted.
The Trump administration is following a playbook: cause chaos, create fear and confusion, make it seem like peaceful protesters are a mob by firing gas pellets and tear gas canisters at them.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says results in Washington, D.C. and Memphis show federal involvement has worked to reduce crime.
And it's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump.
Chicago, as well as Portland and Memphis, have all seen their crime rates drop in comparison to last year.
Leaders from multiple national science, education, and space organizations gathered with lawmakers outside the Capitol in Washington. They're urging Congress to protect budget funding for NASA and the National Science Foundation. Scientist Bill Nye, who's also CEO of the Planetary Society Advocacy Group, says government funding is essential for space exploration.
This is not a luxury. It is a responsibility. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 of the U.S. Constitution recommends to Congress that they promote the progress of science and useful arts. It's in the Constitution.
The Planetary Society says a White House proposal to cut NASA's science budget threatens a, quote, extinction level event for space exploration.
We will have more news ahead.
But first.
Yeah, unfortunately, the growing season for a lot of areas is ending this week with a lot of temperatures in the 30s, maybe even some 20s. We'll break it all down for you coming up on your first warm weather update after the break. Yeah, definitely that time of year when you expect to get, and actually some areas are past their average frost or freeze day too. So as we'll expect, with the temperatures clearing out, we're going to have cooler conditions. Now we still got to get rid of some of the sprinkles or even light showers that are still progressing across the area. Most of this has been really I-90 further south, but there's been a few further north too. But not a lot of rain amounts would be expected with this. You might feel sprinkles, but that would be about it. But it's going to linger through the evening hour, especially as you go further south and east across the area. So rain amounts, we've had quite a bit, especially there's one little area where a nice band set up pretty much just northeast of Black River Falls all the way down just southwest of Mason City. Within that band, you picked up 1 to maybe 1.5 inches of precipitation. So much needed precipitation, but if you go further west and east of it, it does tail off. But everyone got something out of it, which was good. Now, I don't expect to see these amounts of precipitation going forward much in the next 7 days. It's a fairly dry pattern once again. But we'll still have some of that activity really as you go further south and east towards Prairie du Chien, adjacent areas in Iowa. That's where most of it will fall, but there's still an opportunity until about 8 or 9 to see some of it. But look at the clearing that quickly happens as we get closer to 10, 11 p.m. It clears out really rapidly after midnight, except would be a few lingering precipitation until about 2:30 for Wisconsin River areas, and then they'll eventually clear out too. With the clearing skies, cooler air mass over place, and obviously it's first early October, we're going to drop pretty quickly into the 40s to upper 30s. There could be a little bit of frost in some of the areas, east central Wisconsin, some of the colder areas, but overall I think most of the rest of the area will probably stay in the low 40s given we have more cloud cover sticking around a little bit longer. Temperatures tomorrow, pretty typical for this time of year, mid 60s overall, a few upper 60s, all in all, quite a bit of sunshine, really a nice, really early October day. And Tuesday night is where the concern gets more for widespread frost and then freeze possibilities too, given these temperatures too. So really outside the Mississippi River Valley area, where the water is, it probably will get down into low to mid 30s, probably more mid 30s in that area. And then the colder spots like Black River Falls, those places of east central Wisconsin probably could get down into the upper 20s, which means that is freezing conditions too. So once again, it's going to be a cold start. And a little bit cooler Wednesday, given that we are going to start off a little bit colder, but all in all, not too bad of a Wednesday too. Plenty of sunshine out there. Now, there's a freeze watch. This is for tomorrow night. It includes Rusk County. Tomorrow, I'd expect more counties to be added. Probably as that point would be a freeze warning, given we'll be closer to the thing. And then we'll probably see some frost advisories for the rest of the area. Now, If you're wondering on average, this is for freeze, not frost. It's not, we're getting very close for those areas to see 28, should be getting 28 too. We're just about maybe a few days early. The rest of the county still pretty much you would expect that maybe another couple weeks, but they're in the area where you would see more frost potential too. So give you an idea. Now Thursday's highs, once we get past, we're going to warm up a little bit for Thursday's lows, probably not close to freezing, mid to upper 60s because we have a cold front that'll be approaching Thursday night, and at this point there's a lot of question marks on exactly how much moisture it's going to have to work with. So there is a low chance too that we could see some showers later at night through maybe early Friday morning. A lot question marks to come with this. It won't amount to too much, and it won't last that long for Friday either. We expect clearing skies Friday. Not much cooler air behind the front. Actually, we warm back up to near 70, and the weekend overall shaping up to be pretty nice. We do have breezy conditions Sunday as another system approaches Sunday night into early next week, but it just brings our temperatures back down a little bit. So overall, we're still above average for the most part this week, minus some overnight lows. So it is the season where you're going to expect to see frost or freeze conditions, so something you'd expect. So if you got anything you want to live probably tomorrow night,
bring it in.
Plant-wise,
protect it.
Animal-wise,
cover it up or just bring it inside.
Yep.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. And coming up next in sports, get ready for Game 2. The Brewers and Cubs set to face off tonight in Milwaukee, and both managers playing a little chess with the lineup cards. Cade is next.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Cade Overton.
The MLB playoff action continues tonight for Game 2 of the NLDS. The Milwaukee Brewers got a big win on Saturday over the Cubs, 9-3. Now they'll be going with one of their best bullpen guys to start Game 2. It was a bit of a shock when manager Pat Murphy announced that he's going to go with Aaron Ashby to start Game 2. Not because Ashby isn't worthy of it, but he's only started one game this season. Out of the bullpen, he's been brilliant, pitching 66 innings with a 2.1 ERA. But this move means Murphy will likely go to the bullpen early, using Ashby as sort of an opener guy. Now the question will be, how long will he go and who will come in after him? Maybe Quinn Priester? Will we see Jose Quintana? Or will they do a full bullpen day with going with a guy like Jacob Mizorowski? The Cubs, they'll be going with Shota Imanaga, who's faced the Brewers 3 times this season, going 1-2 with a 3.5 ERA. Also, good news for Milwaukee, Jackson Chourio in the starting lineup after being pulled in Game 1 with a hamstring injury. This one's set to go tonight for an 8:08 first pitch on TBS. Some encouraging news out of Green Bay today. Wide receiver Christian Watson returned to practice 274 days after he tore his right ACL at the end of last season. The Packers now have 21 days to activate him to the 40-man roster, so there's no immediate rush to bring him back. And as much as Watson wants to be back to playing games, he knows he's got some work to do in practice first.
I got to knock a little bit of rust off. Obviously, it's been a while since I've been able to, go out there and play football. But I mean, from just confidence and just running and everything, it felt really good. Just excited to continue to build off that.
Hopefully the Packers had some time to figure things out during their bye week, but now it's right back to work. They're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Green Bay for a 3:25 game on CBS. The Bengals, they started off the season with 2 wins, but ever since quarterback Joe Burrow went down with an injury, they've lost their next 3 games by a combined 66 points. The rankings are out, and the UWL Eagles are up to number 4 in the D3 football polls. The Eagles pulled off a big double overtime win on the road against number 9 Whitewater on Saturday. La Crosse trailed by 17 points at halftime, but found another gear in the second half, eventually winning on a game-winning field goal. UWL will host Eau Claire on Saturday for an 11:40 kickoff. Now, guys, I love baseball playoffs. I'm a little nervous tonight. Game 1 almost felt too good to be true for the Brewers. You got to think something's coming here for Game 2.
No, positive thoughts only.
Yeah, I would hope so. But yeah, the Cubs are in the playoffs for a reason. It's still a talented roster, and that's their best pitcher right there.
They're going to be home, so extra challenging.
We'll have an update on that game tonight at 10. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
All right, cool tonight, some frost, but definitely take note tomorrow night. It could be frost or freeze, the first of the season for many years.
All right, thanks for joining us at 6.